What's your name?
Rachel Slater.
And what are we talking about today?
ADHD.
So not everyone is aware of what ADHD actually is. Would you be able to explain a little bit more about it, please?
So ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. There's 3 different types. So there's inattentive, hyperactive, and then like combined. So it's like both of them. So I've been diagnosed with combined type. So it for me it affects a lot of different things like my energy levels, my concentration, like my memory, like ability to think clearly, like the way you feel, emotions, like impulse control, like loads of different things. I think it's obviously they're all I think it's called executive functioning or something. So they're all pretty day-to-day basic human functioning things. So it's quite difficult to kind of put into words what it's like to someone who doesn't have ADHD, because if you don't have ADHD or a disorder that affects those things, then you kind of don't have to think about doing those things, you just do it naturally, and it's probably just not something that you think about. But for someone who does have ADHD, it's you have to think about it and struggle to do it every hour of the day sort of thing. So it's quite hard to put it into words if you can't experience that. But yeah, I'll do my best, I guess.
So it's clear that ADHD has several challenges. And for you, with your cricket and your everyday life, what sort of challenges has it presented for yourself?
Yeah, I think like I said, they're all kind of basic, day-to-day human functioning things. So naturally they're gonna affect things, and when you go into a high pressure environment, it's only gonna exaggerate them, I guess. I think people who have trained with me or whatever, even before I got diagnosed, have probably heard me joking about this thing called the wobble zone that we joke about, and it's I get to this point where I'm like a zombie, I've got no thoughts in my head sort of thing. And it's something we've always joked about. Before I knew it was my ADHD, and I think there's that, and then with that it's I guess come a lot of anxiety from it, because I've always been aware of it and known that at some point in the day that's going to happen, whether it's 5 minutes into the day or whether it's 4 hours sort of thing. So not being able to control that, and if I was playing a 50 over game and we're bowling second and I've got to sit for 50 overs before I go and play, I know I'm in trouble, because there is no way I'll have any energy, concentration or anything left at that point. And I think in the past I've struggled a lot with anxiety, probably because of that, to the point where I've had panic attacks as recently as this year in a game, because it's just if you don't know and you kind of feel that switch going where it's I've lost it, it's gone, and then you kind of oh my god, what do I do? I guess my memory, I have a notes page in my phone of my bowling run up, because I don't remember what it is all the time, which is mad, because it's obviously I do it every day, so I have to check it before I bowl, because I'll forget. And I think my first game for Scotland, I forgot to check, and I was bowling off a run up that was 2 meters too short, so obviously that's going to affect your performance and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's difficult, because I've only been diagnosed pretty recently, so I've always known these things were going on, but I actually never thought it was anything other than normal. I just thought that everyone felt that way, and everyone was almost too embarrassed to be the first person to say that they were struggling with that or whatever, or that's what was happening. And I didn't want it to seem I'm moaning about something that everyone experiences, or I can't hack things or whatever. So yeah, until pretty recently, and now I actually understand what ADHD is and what it is for me, I didn't really think about those things that much, but obviously now I know.
Yeah.
and
It must
stuff
have
like
been really nice for you to get that diagnosis then, to understand sort of what was going on when you didn't really know, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, I didn't really realise before like what it was. Like I said, I just thought everyone was like too embarrassed to say it. I didn't want to say it, whatever. So it was nice, and I guess it was a little bit like, oh my god, like everything kind of makes sense now, and I feel like I can kind of understand the way that I feel a bit more. And if I'm, sometimes at training where it's like I'm trying and I want to put my energy to it, but sometimes it's like it feels like impossible to do it. Like I've described it to some people like it's like I'm a car that's like needs diesel, and someone's filled a full tank of petrol into me. So it's like I've got all this energy to use, but it's like impossible to use it. So I think being diagnosed, like now I kind of understand it, and I guess that can help you move forward with things and help other people understand it as well.
And you obviously said about, writing in your notes about your run up and stuff. Obviously the challenges that are presented to you, what would you say you've sort of done to overcome them and try and, make things a little bit easier for you?
I think like pretty obvious, but I think the biggest one probably like getting diagnosed and getting medication for it. I remember the first day I took my medication, and the first time I played taking my medication, I was like, what the hell? Like I was like, there's no way that this is how things were meant to be my whole life, and I just didn't realise like it was mental. So I think that's been a massive change where like now I feel like I have control over those things like someone without ADHD usually would, which is obviously massive. I think like good habits and routines, so like my sleep, my nutrition, like exercise, having like space for myself is really important. I know like what things make it worse, so like using social media a lot or like drinking alcohol a lot regularly make things worse. So they're maybe not things that I would like avoid full stop, but I can try and like limit it. And I think just like not trying to hide it. Like I think as much as there's obviously a lot about it what I would change and that I wish wasn't there, but there's also a lot about it that is good. And I think probably like certain things about me, my personality, like what my friends like about me, what people value in me, I would say is like largely down to my ADHD. Like for example, I can be impulsive, but the flip side of that is that I don't really struggle getting on with new people and fitting into groups because I kind of just crack on. So like there is positives to it, and I think if I tried to hide the negative sides of it, then I'd hide the positive sides of it as well. So I think just like trying to just let it run its course, I guess.
And I know that for you, on and off the field, it's been quite a challenging couple of years for you. Are you looking forward to getting stuck into 2024?
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait, to be fair. Like even now, we've got the 6 weeks off or whatever, and I'm already like, I want to play again. Like I want to get back bowling. I think, obviously last year or so has not been ideal. Like having time out and then coming back and getting injured it's not ideal, but it happens, and it's kind of, I wouldn't change. Like if I could go back in time, I'd do the same thing again, taking time away, and I'd do it a million times over. So like that happens, injuries happen, so it is what it is, and it's a really good group of girls, and I think we've got a lot to build on from last year. So I'm really looking forward to the new year and just getting back with the girls and stuff.
No, thank you so much for speaking so honestly and bravely, and we can't wait to see you shine like a diamond in 2024.
Thank you, cheers.